Take a few more seconds. And when you're ready, you can just blink your eyes open. So eyes are blinking open. So Janine, I know this is the first time you're with us. I know it's not the first time you've done the lessons. It may be different than the way that you've done them in other groups. I don't know, you've been in the Australian group, so maybe not. You'll hear Dave's teachings, but it's really about activating, becoming activated. So we are opening ourselves up and allowing ourselves to be moved by this transmission that happens in these all of the lessons. But there's something really magical on the first 50 lessons. It's like the entire thought system is here in the first 50 lessons. So we kind of all come and get on the same page. We're all coming from different places. Where are you, by the way? I know you're in the States. I mean, I'm assuming I hear you.
I'm in Canada, actually, in Sarnia, Ontario.
All right, cool. Well, we're all coming from different places, but we can all join right here. We all become like on equal footing with these lessons. But most important, just allowing ourselves to let it just drop. I'm going to call it the heart. Just drop into the heart, just out of this trying to grasp something and know something, and just let it move you. All right. So that's the invitation.
Thank you.
Do with it what you will. I'll start just to get us going. I'll do a couple, and then we'll make our way around. All right. Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this, and only this I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. I'll go to Anna. Anna, do a few, please.
I do not understand anything I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What I see is a projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There's no sense in trying to understand, but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is not this a better choice than the one I for? These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I'm aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me and that I no longer want. I am willing to let it go.
Well, thank you. Viviana, you feel to do a few?
I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn. As I look about, I condemn. I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past, therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts.
Mm,
I see only my own thoughts.
mm.
And my mind is preoccupied with past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I am giving up nothing. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has caused me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has caused me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see.
Thank you, Viviana. Janine, you want to give it a shot? Cool. Do you know where we are?
No, what are you reading from?
We're reading from the course. Do you have a course book?
Like
I'll tell you the page number. It's always easiest.
the lessons? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So we're reading the review lessons. I know, isn't it crazy?
what do you?
So we're in the review. So it's page 85.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I was so confused.
I know.
Because
So
I was
it's like I never heard this before. I mean, I know how that can be.
Yeah, I was on like the actual lessons, and I was like, are they like following their heart here? What's going on?
Like, what are they reading? All right, cool. So we're at 85, and it's lesson number 10, but it says 5. Lesson number 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. So yeah, just take a breath and give us a few of those. All right. Thank you.
Okay. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts, yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? Just keep reading the next one.
Yeah, yeah. And just hear yourself reading it. I mean, Teddy did a really good lesson. I have to find it again, where he talks about like the importance of hearing yourself say these lessons.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I want to say one more thing. And you're going to be confronted with either the acceptance from this whole mind, or you're going to recognize the denial of it. Either way, you're going to be moved. So yeah, so just hear yourself. Thank you. Yeah, lovely.
My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real.
Yes.
And that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning.
Yes.
Me to read
Yeah,
it.
please. Yeah, do another one, please. Yeah, thank you.
A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear, because I am acknowledging that it does not exist.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
And read this one again, because I want to hear it. I need to hear it. So if you could just take a big breath. Or a deep breath. I don't know, big, deep. Yeah.
Just the one I just read?
Yeah, please. Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear, because I am acknowledging that it does not exist.
Thank you. I don't know. I feel like you have to read the next one. You can't stop at this one. The person that reads this one has to read that next one.
God did not create a meaningless world.
Yes.
How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning, and everything that is real is in his mind. It is in my mind too, because he created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts, when the perfection of creation is my home. Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide.
That last sentence. Can you read that last sentence again? Just really slowly.
Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'll do a couple. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficent light on what I see. Yet, God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against him because it is not my will that they do so. My will is his, and I will place no other gods before him. I have no neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. But thoughts cannot be without effects. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. My thoughts cannot be neither true nor false. They must be one or the other. What I see shows me which they are. I see no neutral things. What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist because life is thought. Let me look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. I know that my state of mind can change. And so I also know the world I see can change as well. I'm gonna do one more. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet, that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. And the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine. Mm. Ooh. Mm. Ooh, Anna, you want to do a couple? Mm.
I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am alone in nothing. Everything I think or say or do teaches all the universe. A son of God cannot think or speak or act in vain. He cannot be alone in anything. It is therefore in my power to change every mind along with mine. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. Recognizing the shared nature of my thoughts, I am determined to see.
Mm.
I would look upon the witnesses that show me the thinking of the world has been changed. I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has enabled love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are one. I am determined to see things differently. The signs of disease, disaster, and death. This cannot be what God created for his beloved Son. The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God. Therefore, I also do not understand his Son. What I see tells me that I do not know who I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me. rather than those which show me an illusion of myself. What I see is a form of vengeance. The world I see is hardly the representation of loving thoughts. It is a picture of attack on everything, by everything. It is anything but a reflection of the love of God and the love of his Son. It is my own attack thoughts that give rise to this picture. My loving thoughts will save me from this perception of the world and give me the peace God intended me to have.
Thank you, Anna. Viviana.
I can escape from this world by giving up attack thoughts. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, I could not see a world of attack. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. And it is this I choose to see in place of what I look on now. I do not perceive my own best interests. How could I recognize my own best interests when I do not know who I am? What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusions. I am willing to follow the guide God has given me to find out what my best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. Recognizing that I cannot perceive them by myself. Follow the guide God has given me.
How about that?
Yeah. I do not know what anything is for. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. It is for this purpose that I attempt to use everyone and everything. It is for this that I believe the world is for. Therefore, I do not recognize its real purpose. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind to the world's real purpose by withdrawing the one I have given it and learning the truth about it. The purpose I have given the world. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind. Learn the truth about it. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of the world. I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. I have tried to give my inheritance away in exchange for the world I see. But God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. Above all else, above all else, I want to see, recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am. I realize that vision is my greatest need. The world I see attests to the fearful nature of the self-image I have made. If I would remember who I am, it is essential that I let this image of myself go. It is essential that I let this image of myself go. As it is replaced by truth, vision will surely be given me. It is replaced by truth. Vision will surely be given me. And with this vision, I will look upon the world and on myself with charity and love. I will look upon the world and myself with charity and love. Above all else, I want to see differently. The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. And guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness. I would let the door behind this world be open for me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. The door behind this world be open for me, not by me, for me. That I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. God is in everything I see. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. Beyond all my insane wishes is my will, united with the will of my Father. God is still everywhere and in everything forever. And we who are part of him will yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. God is still everywhere and in everything forever. Everywhere and in everything forever. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. In my own mind, behind all my insane thoughts of separation and attack, is the knowledge that all is one forever. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am because I have forgotten it. It has been kept for me in the mind of God, who has not left his thoughts. And I, who am among them, am one with them and one with him.
Thank you, Viviana. Janine. Meet Dave. Meet dear one. Dear one, meet dear one, Janine.
Dear one's a dubious title, really, isn't it?
All right, dear one,
I start
Janine.
to understand it. Hey, Janine, what's going on?
Hey, oh, nothing. Just reading the lessons.
Exactly correct. Correct. You get a tick. That's it. You're done.
She's gonna read a few, and then you want to take over?
No, I'm early. I'm 8 minutes early, I think, or something.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, we are. We are. I'm just saying you want to. Anyway, Janine, here you go, love. A goodie. Ready?
A goodie.
Wait for it. Not you, him. You just take a breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to read, right?
I do.
Okay. I am not the victim of the world I see. How can I be the victim of a world that can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. I can drop them off merely by desiring to do so. The prison door is open. I can leave simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. Only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I would give up my insane wishes and walk into the sunlight at last. I have invented the world I see. I made up the prison in which I see myself. All I need to do is recognize this, and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison the Son of God. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. The Son of God must be forever free. He is as God created him, and not what I would make of him. He is where God would have him be, and not where I thought to hold him prisoner. There is another way of looking at the world. Since the purpose of the world is not the one I ascribe to it, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down, and my thoughts are the opposite of truth. I see the world as a prison for God's Son. It must be, then, that the world is really a place where he can be set free. I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the Son of God finds his freedom. Can I just read the next one?
I wish you would. Thank you.
Kind of like this one. I could see peace instead of this. When I see the world as a place of freedom, I realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules I made up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it, and I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me.
Read another one.
My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. As I share the peace of the world with my brothers, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself. The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself kept hidden. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself kept hidden. I begin to understand the holiness of all living things, including myself, and their oneness with me.
Oh, thank you.
You want to read one?
Huh? What'd you say?
Anna,
Oh yeah, cool. I was gonna call Anna.
she's over there.
She's over here for me.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, Lucy.
Good. Let it in.
My holiness envelops everything I see. From my holiness does the perception of the real From my holiness does the perception of the real Having forgiven, I no longer see myself as guilty. I can accept the innocence that is the truth about. Seen
You're
through
a bit, Anna. Your microphone's cutting in and out a bit. I'm guessing it's at your end because I can hear the others fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a bit of a delay.
There's something. Start again.
Yeah. My holiness envelops everything I see. From my holiness does the perception of the real world come. Having forgiven, I no longer see myself as guilty. I can accept the innocence that is the truth about me. Seen through understanding eyes, the holiness of the world is all I see, for I can picture only the thoughts I hold about myself.
Terrible. Ready? There you go. There you go. Stay there in that place. Ready? There. Let's do it again.
My holiness envelops
No,
everything.
no. Stop. Connect. Take a few deep breaths. All that stuff you got going on there, you're just reading it like meh, 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 meh. Feel it. Feel it. Connect with it. Nah. Not yet. Close your eyes. Stop trying to avoid that pain. You ready? Go deeper, 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 deeper. Push it. You know where that is. You ready? Now give that to the Holy Spirit. There you go. Stay in the circle. Take a few deep breaths. You guys are not in the same room, Tina. I thought you guys would be sitting in the same room together like peas in a pod.
No.
Anthea's not at Gemma's either.
It's a rebellion.
It is a rebellion. There was a rebellion in heaven.
Oh, I'm on the right side.
That's how. How do you know?
I don't. I just want to declare.
Right,
it.
exactly. You have to take it on faith.
Yeah.
That's all. You ready? We'll do it in faith. You ready, Anna? Here we go.
Yeah.
Boot camp. Ready? Take a deep breath. Somewhere in there, you got to say, fuck it. You keep pushing up against the same thing, Ready? I'm one with you in the whole of this. There it is. It's all about that decision. Those who say the words are many, those who mean them are few. You need merely look around to see how few they are. Breathe. We can get Janine to do another one. She reads it nice. Or Bibiana. Or Tina. Arnie, you stay put. We're going to back to you. You ready?
Okay.
Breathe. Bibiana, do another one. You know, Anna, that you and Bibiana are in the same place energetically. You guys are exactly like in the same place. When you read these lessons, you get all choked up with the emotionality of it. It's like there's a connection. Bibiana pushes through hers and you get caught up with yours, Anna. You can hear it in the reading. You can feel it in the vibration.
My holiness blesses the world.
Yes.
The perception of my holiness does not bless me alone. everyone and everything I see in its light shares in the joy it brings to me. There's nothing that is apart from this joy, because there's nothing that does not share my holiness. As I recognize my holiness, so does the holiness of the world shine forth for everyone to see. There is nothing my holiness cannot do.
Good. You feel the passion?
My holiness, I feel resistance.
Doesn't matter. That's just a misinterpretation. That idea of resistance, that's the passion. If you could just like let that out, just the tip of that passion out without calling it resistance or without calling it something, you just explode into light.
Yeah, it's the same power, the same source.
It's the same thing. You call it resistance. Jesus says there's nothing but love. What you're feeling is love, misinterpreted by your ego. That's why the mind training, we're learning not to listen to that voice that wants to say this is resistance or this is. We'll let that go. I'm not going to listen to that voice anymore. I may not recognize it, but I want to trust that everything is just love. Everything is just love. Is that right, Anna?
Let me read that sentence again. There's nothing my holiness cannot do.
Yeah.
My holiness is unlimited in its power to heal. Because it is unlimited in its power to save. What is there to be saved from except illusions? And what are all illusions except false ideas about myself? My holiness undoes them all by asserting the truth about me. In the presence of my holiness, which I share with God Himself, all idols vanish.
Good. You feel it. It brings relief and it brings peace. You connect with those words and it's just like it reminds you, it starts to remind you of something. It's like, holy cow, look how I've been using my mind. And we go back and forth across the bridge between the worlds, back and forth, until eventually we sort of give Jesus the benefit of the doubt and we stay on the right side of it.
Yeah.
You know? But until then, it's like this backwards and then forwards again, forwards again. It's like you got to reach out and feel if it's going to be what it's going to try to be like, you know, rather than just jump in altogether. Good. So it's like the simplest thing on earth. Salvation is the simplest thing on earth. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
There's nothing lacking and nothing needing and nothing, but staying in the remembrance of that in the place where everything seems to be in your face and where the world seems to be telling you that, you know, that's why we have this mind training. That's why we have to learn again and again and again. And the course has to be overlearned to be learned. And we look at the idea of the blocks to peace again and again and again. And we learn through repetition. And you're starting to see now where it is that you're repeating the same kind of cycles again and again and again, and learning to make better choices.
Yeah.
Or not. Or not.
Denying the
Sometimes-
strength of God within me. Once again,
Right.
I created myself.
Exactly.
Check.
Exactly. It's funny, isn't
here
it?
I am once again. Check.
I know, it's funny stuff. It's like it's hilarious. So
Yeah.
luckily God has infinite patience and Jesus is infinitely, you know. So and luckily we're entitled to miracles. So